Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial are these absolutely adorable hiding jar bears. So what these are, just unscrew its head, and we've got a half-pint mason jar. I'm looking for something I can put in there. We can hide stuff in, like candy. These are super cute, super easy to make. All we're doing is just basically making a bear around a jar. Now what I did is I made the body first, and I worked that up till the first lip of the, I'll show you right there, the slip right here of the jar. And then we attach arms, and then we make the head. And we make that attached to the ring. I don't know why that was having a problem focusing. But let's talk about what we're going to need. You're going to need a half-pint canning jar. I got these at Walmart. They're just little mason jars. And you definitely have to make sure you have the insert and a ring, because this is what we're going to make the head on. Oop. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a stitch marker. Now you're going to need 2 crochet hooks for this project. We're going to use a 4mm and a 6mm. The 6mm we use for the main body of it, and then the 4mm for the arms and legs, and I believe the ears and the little muzzle part. Okay, you're going to need a hot glue gun with obviously a hot glue stick. Now you're going to need some safety eyes. Just bump the camera. You're going to need some safety eyes. Now I have this pack that I got from Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description box for you guys. But this pack comes with noses and eyes. Now, I'm not going to use the noses because I like the method that we're going to do on the bear better. But if you guys like these noses better, then, you know, you can use those. But I picked the 10mm. Which, is it this? Yeah, I think it's this little slot. The 10mm safety eyes. And then those come with your backs. So like I said, I'll link that in the description box for you guys. And then instead of those safety noses, what I used is a piece of felt. And all I did was just cut the corner off of it and then shaped it a little bit to get the nose. So that's pretty easy. Nothing fancy there. And then, of course, we're going to need some yarn. Now, I'm using Red Heart Super Saver scraps. Today, I've got this one. I don't know where I got this from. It's an old skein that I've had for a while. But it's coral, in the color coral. And you can use any 4-weight yarn you want to. You don't have to use Red Heart Super Saver. I just choose to because I got enough scraps. Now, you guys can use all sorts of stuff to decorate your bears. I actually made some buttons to put on here, but I kind of didn't, I don't know, I didn't like the way it looked, so I didn't add them. Excuse me. But Walmart sells little bows and flowers and all kinds of ribbons you could use to tie, you know, around the neck of the bear, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. Another thing I do want to suggest is, in my opinion, with these eyes that you get, like, there's colored ones on the back row, and mine are all kinds of messed up. There's clear. There's green. Brown. Blue, and a red. And then this row right here is all black, and then this is the noses. what I wanted to say was that, you know, if you were going to make, the, let's say a black bear, I wouldn't suggest using the brown or, you know, the normal black eyes that you get. And the only reason being is because they're not going to stand out as much. So, I mean, if you're going to make a dark colored bear, I would go with a bright eye. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that a dark colored bear isn't going to look good with dark eyes. Although he does. Okay, so get all of your stuff together. And let's get, oh, I forgot to mention, you are going to need polyfill. You might as well get you a big bag of this because we got a lot coming using this. So get you a big bag of polyfill. I knew I was forgetting something. All right, now we are ready to go. So get your guys' stuff together, come back here, and let's get going. And right before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that I did break this video down into 2 parts, because if I would have had the tutorial part and then the assembly part together, I think the video would have been like 2.5 hours long. So I broke it into 2 videos for you guys, okay? All right, to get started, we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to slip stitch into our first chain, and we're going to form a ring. Now get that moved out of there so you can get your fingertips in the middle of that ring. And we slip stitch and we chain 1. Now working over our tail, we're going to work 6 single crochets into that ring. Now for this pattern, we are not going to slip stitch to the beginning of our, like the first stitch of our row. We are going to use, or round, we're going to use a stitch marker. So we slip stitched, we chain 1, and then working around our tail, we're going to work 6 single crochet. And then I'm going to mark that very first one with the stitch marker so I know where my row ends and begins. So here's 1. Mark that. So that's 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're still over your tail. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now I'm going to pull this up a little bit, and I'm going to take my tail and I'm going to pull it tight, and we will close that up, fully close that up later. Alright, so that was the end of row 1. So row 2, we are going to increase into each single crochet all around, and all that means is 2 single crochets into each single. So we have 6 at the end of row 1. At the end of row 2, we should have 12. So I took my stitch marker out of my first stitch, or my first single crochet, and I'm going to go right in there with 1 single, and I'm going to stop and mark it. So now I know I'm on row 2, and then right back into that same single crochet with another. So there's 2, into the next single crochet gets 2, 1, 2, the next single crochet gets 2, the next single crochet gets 2, and so on all the way around. So by the end of round 2, we should have 12 single crochets. Alright, next stitch is my first stitch of the row, so I know I'm done with row 2. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Take our loop out of the way, and there's 12. So that is the end of round 2. So for round 3, we are going to increase into the first single crochet, and again, an increase, all that is 2 single crochets into 1. So we're going to increase into the first, and then single crochet into the next. Increase, single, increase, single. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker, go right into that first one, first single crochet with an increase. 1 and 2. I should have marked that first one after I made it, but mark your very first stitch of the round. Okay, so there's my increase. Next single gets 1 single. Next single gets an increase. Next single gets 1. And next is an increase. 1. Increase. 1. Increase. 1. Increase. And the very last single crochet gets a single. So that is the end of round 3, and we should have 18. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Good deal. All right, now we're on to round 4, and round 4 gets an increase into the very first single crochet, and then a single crochet into the next, and a single crochet into the next. Increase into the next, single, single, increase, single, single. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. So the very first single crochet of our round gets an increase, which again is just 2 single crochets into 1. We're increasing our stitch count. Mark your very first one, not the one you just made, the very first one. All right, now we work a single into the next 2. 1 and 1 into the next. Next gets an increase. Next gets 1. And the next one gets 1. So you guys go ahead and repeat that around. I'm going to finish this off camera, and I will meet you when we get back to the beginning. Okay, I'm coming around to the end. I have 2 single crochets left. I just worked my increase, so the last 2 is just 1 single crochet. Alright, that is the end of round 4, and at the end of round 4 we should have 24 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Great. So now we are going to move on to round 5. And round 5, we are going to increase into the very first single crochet of the round. So the increase, I'm going to go ahead and remember to stop this time instead of working my second one and mark that first stitch. Alright, so there's 1 and there's my second for my increase. And now we're going to work a single crochet into the next 3 singles. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we increase into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat around. Increase, single crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Increase into the next. I got lost. Okay, there's my increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. All right, sorry about that. Now I single into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Increase into the next. So repeat that around, and I will meet you guys when we get back to the beginning. Okay, I'm coming to the end. I just worked my increase and I have 3 single crochets left. So just a single into the last 3, and that is the end, excuse me, of round 5. There we go. So at the end of round 5, we should have 30 singles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and stop for a second, and I'm going to get this end weaved in. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do next. Because the next round is round 6. In round 6, we are going to be working just a back loop, single crochets into each single crochet around. So all that's doing is making a nice pretty turn. Where am I coming from? A nice pretty turn to come from the flat bottom up the sides of the jar. Get out of there. All right. Okay. So we got that done. Okay, so for round 6, we are going to work a back loop single into each single all the way around. So just the back loop to make sure everybody sees. Mine's a little smaller right here from the beginning. But you've got your front loop, which is the loop that's on the side of your work that the front of your single crochets are on. The back loop is to the back of your single crochets. So I'm going to go right in between both loops and then work my single crochet around that back loop. Mark my first. Go right in between both, catch that back loop. And that's all we're doing all the way around. So we still should have the same single crochets count, the same single crochet stitch count of 30. I'm now working this. I'm not being too rough because I don't want to stretch it out too much, which I'm sure, you know, going on to the bottom of this mason jar, or canning jar I should say, it is gonna stretch a little bit, but that's all right. See how it's leaving that ridge, that nice turn for us. See right there, I got stuck on a hangnail right there, and then it's gonna come working up the side. So you guys go ahead and work back loop single crochets all the way around, and I will meet you at the beginning. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I've got one more single crochet to work into, and that is the end of round 6. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're just going to single crochet into each single all around. And I'm going to let you guys do that by yourselves. I don't think you need me to show you. I think you've got a good handle on it now. I'm going to go right into my very first. So this is round 7 with a single crochet. Mark my first. And just single crochet around. So we're going to work round 7 that we're on now. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Working single crochets, okay? So you guys get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 done. And I will meet you at the end of round 12. All right. I'll see you guys when we're about this tall. And with the power of movie magic, I am at the end of round 12. I got one more single crochet to go into. So I'm going to single into that one. And that's the end of round 12. Now I'm going to get my jar. And it's not going to be an exact fit. We're going to have to get it on there. Wiggle it on there a little bit. But it's looking good so far. Now, the half pint canning jars, the base starts out at a certain, let's see if I can get it to where you guys can see. I don't know if you can tell. So like down here, at like around this portion is so wide, then it slightly tapers out a little bit the higher up you go. So for round 13, we are going to do a tad bit of increasing, not much. So for round 13, we're going to increase into the very first single crochet. There's my increase. And then we are going to single crochet into the next 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we are going to increase into the next. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Increase into the next. And we should have 9 single crochets left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're just going to single crochet into each one of the remaining 9 singles. Oh, lost that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that is the end of round 13. Now 14, 15, and 16, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. So this is the start of round 14. All right, so 14, 15, and 16, we're just single crocheting around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish those 3 rounds, and I will meet you at the end of round 16. Oh, and the new stitch count, I'm sorry guys, I should have told you this. The new stitch count is 33. Sorry about that. Okay, I will meet you guys at the end of round 16. Okay, I just finished round 16, and now we're up higher on our jar to where it's getting just a tad bit thick, or not thicker, wider. So we're going to do one more increase round. So for round 17, we're going to increase into the very first single. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh, went right back in there. 9 and 10. And then we increase into the next. Now single crochet into the next 10 and then increase into the next. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do that off camera. And I'll do mine off camera. And I will meet you at the end of round 17. Be right back. Okay, so at the end of round 17, you should have worked an increase and then single crochet into the last 10. So at the end of round 17, we should now have 36 single crochets around. Okay? Now what we're going to do is round 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, 6 rounds, we're going to just do the single crochet into each single all the way around. So this is the last part, super easy. So you guys get 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, and I will meet you. I will come back here and we will finish off the body and go from there. So I'll come back at the end of round 23. Okay guys, I'm coming to the end of round 23. I have 2 more single crochets to work into. 1 and 2. Now I'm going to slip stitch into my very first, chain 1 and pull up a loop. Now before I weave in my ends, I'm going to put this on my jar. And I realize that everybody's tension is different, So some of you may need to actually pull a row out if it comes up, if your body piece is all the way to the top of your jar, just pull it out till it comes to that top rim. And if your guys's is, maybe not as tight as mine, which I think that'd be perfectly fine. If it's looser, it maybe doesn't look so form-fitting to the jar. So it may, I think it'd still look okay. So that is the body part. I am happy with mine. I like how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and off camera, I'm going to weave in my ends. And then we are going to get started with the next part. Okay, so we have finished our body, weaved in our ends, and I went ahead and just put mine on my jar. Do not hot glue that yet, just leave it alone, okay? We're going to set that to the side, and we're going to get started with our head. So get a slip knot on your hook, and we're going to start with a chain of 5. And then we're going to make a ring. Oops, put that on there backwards. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back and slip stitch into that first chain to form a ring. Chain 1. Now we're going to work 6 single crochet into our ring. Make sure you work over your tail. Blah, blah, blah. So I chain 1. We're going to start with our 6. Now I'm going to stop because remember we got to always mark that first single crochet of the round so we know what round we're on, or where the beginning of the round is. Beginning of the round or the end. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull our tail to close that up. And that's the end of round 1. So to move on to round 2, we're going to work an increase into each single crochet around. So again, the increase is just 2 singles into 1 stitch. 1, 2, mark your first. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and into the last single crochet, 11 and 12. So that is the end of round 2, and I am going to go ahead and stop and weave in this middle tail. So I want it to come all the way back around to the beginning. So it's a nice clean close in the middle. Right there. And I know where the beginning is because it's stitch marker. Alright, cut that tail. Okay, now we're going to move on to round 3. In round 3, we're going to increase into the very first single crochet. Mark your first. There's my increase, and now we're going to single crochet into the next single crochet. So 1 single, and then we increase into the next. 1 single crochet into the next. Increase into the next. 1 single crochet into the next. Increase. 1. Increase. 1. Increase into the next. And into the last single crochet with 1 single crochet. Now we should have 18 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Alright, so now we're going to move on to round 4. In round 4, we're going to increase into the very first. Okay, now we're going to single crochet into the next 2. So 1 and 1. Now we increase into the next. Single crochet into the next 2. 1 and 2. Increase into the next. So repeat that around. Increase, single crochet in 2. Increase, single crochet in 2. Repeat that around, and I will meet you back at the beginning. Okay, I've got 2 more to work into, and I just worked my increase, so the last 2 single crochets of the round get 1 single crochet into each. And now we should have 24 single crochets. So we're going to move on to round 5. And now round 5, just like the other rounds, starts with our increase. One and 2. Mark that first one. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we increase into our next. Start that over again. So we increase, single crochet into 3. 1, 2, and 3. Increase into the next, single crochet into the next 3. So go ahead and again repeat the increase, single crochet in 3, increase, single crochet in 3, all around, and I will meet you guys back at the beginning again. Okay, I'm coming to the end. We have 1, 2, 3 single crochets to work into. So to end, is it round? Yeah, round 5 single crochet into the last 3 single crochets. And that's the end of round 5, and we should have 30 single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and count since I didn't count last round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Good deal. Okay, so now we're going to move on to round 6. And just like all the other rounds, we're going to start with our increase. One and 2. Mark your first. Okay, now we're going to single crochet into the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we increase into our next. And that's the repeat for this round. I think you guys got a pretty good handle of how we're working in the rounds and repeating. I don't know why that looks so weird right there. I think I may have messed something up when I was, or skipped something when I was weaving in my tail. So go ahead and work your increase, single crochet into the next 4. Increase, single crochet into the next 4. Work that around, and again, I'll meet you at the last 4 single crochet. Okay, I'm coming around. I've got 4 more single crochets to work 1 single crochet into, and that is how we are going to end round 6. 2, 3, and 4. And now we should have 36, and I'm going to go ahead and count because I want to keep on track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Great. All right. I need to turn my page. My pattern I got written out. All right. Okay. So we are going to start with round 7. And of course, just like before, round 7 starts with our increase. So into our very first single crochet, we're going to work 2. Mark your first. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we increase into the next and single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, guys, you know the repeat. You get it. Increase into the next, single crochet into 5. Increase into the next, single crochet into the next 5. And repeat that around, and I'll meet you when we get to our last 5 single crochets. Okay, I'm coming to the end of round 7, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets after I work that last increase. And that's how we're going to end round 7. A single crochet into the last 5 single crochets. Oh, come on. All right. I did it again. Okay, so that's the end of round 7, and we should have 42 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. Yay! Okay, guys, so for round 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 5 rounds, we're going to work 1 single crochet into each single all the way around. So get your little stitch counter, or I mean your counter out, or paper and pen, and make a tally for the next 5 rounds to work a single crochet into each. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those 5 rounds, 1 single crochet into each, okay? And I will come back here at the end of round 12. Actually, I'll come back when I've got 1 more single crochet to work into at the end of round 12, okay? Get those done and get right back here, and we're going to move on. Okay, so we just finished round 12. No, I didn't. I lied. I have 1 more. 1 more single crochet to go into, and there's the end of round 12. Still should have 42 single crochets. Okay, so we're going to move on to round 13. In round 13, we're going to start decreasing. So to start off, we are going to work a decrease over the first 2 single crochets. So a single crochet decrease is basically you insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And that made 2 single crochets into 1. So we worked our decrease, and now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we decrease. Insert into the first, pull up a loop, 2 loops, insert into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 3. Now we single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we decrease. Go into the first, pull up a loop, go into the second, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. Okay, so you guys have got this. Repeat around, decrease, single crochet into 5. Decrease, single crochet into 5. All the way around, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, I'm coming to the end of 13. I just worked a decrease right there. And now I'm going to single crochet into the last 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is how we are going to end round 13. Now round 14, we're just going to do a single crochet around. Just 1 round. 1. Oh, I'm sorry, but I should have told you. At the end, actually, I'm going to take that right back out. Okay, so that was the end of round 13. Now we should have 36 double crochet. I meant to say that before I went on to round 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. My last one just about came out. There's 36. Good deal. Okay. So now we go on to round 14. And it is just 1 single crochet into each single around. 1. Alright, so you guys single crochet all the way around for round 14. And I will meet you at the end. We're almost done. We're getting close. Alright. See you at the end of round 14. Alright, I've just finished my round 14, so we're going to move on to round 15. Still should have 36 single crochets. So round 15, we're going to repeat round 13, but the ending is going to be just a tad bit different. So again, we're going to start with our decrease. Mark that. And now we're single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And decrease. Now we repeat that around. The only difference from round 15 and 13 is the way we're going to end it is a tad bit different. So go ahead and repeat that around, but stop before you finish the round, okay? And we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming around to the end. I have a few more stitches left. Now I worked my decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then I decrease. The only difference is 13 we had 5. Round 13 we had 5 double crochets at the end. Round 15 we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good deal. Now at the end of round 15 we should have 31 single crochets all the way around. We are going to double check that that's correct. Alright, so deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I did it all in one breath. Okay, so good deal. We got 31. Now we get a little bit of a break, guys. Round 16, 17, and 18. 3 rounds of one single crochet all the way around. So get your tally paper again, get your pen and pencil, and we got 3 rounds. Don't laugh at my handwriting, I know it's bad. 16 through 18. So 16, 17, 18. Okay, get your 3 rounds done and come back here and we're almost done, guys. Okay, I'm back and I just finished round 18. And we still should have 31 single crochets. Now we have round 19 and 20 and we are done. So for round 19, we are going to increase into the very first single. So 1 and 2 and mark your first. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we increase into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat around, guys. Increase, single crochet 5. Increase, single crochet 5. 3, 4, and 5. Increase, single crochet 5. All right, repeat that around and I will meet you at the last couple stitches of round 19. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. I just worked my increase, and now to finish round 19, we should have 6 single crochets left. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. And now the stitch count should be 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Good. Okay, so guys, get out of there. The last round of our head is round 20. And that is just one single crochet into each single. So 1, and just single crochet into each one. So while we work on that, or while I work on that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what we're going to do. So we've finished the body. We're finishing the head. After this, we're going to make the ears, and then arms, legs, muzzle, or muzzle, arms, legs, whichever. But we're not going to put everything together until the end. I want to get everything made, and then we're going to assemble. I know that does kind of sound like a pain, but it's easier in the long run. In the grand scheme of things, it's easier just to wait until we get everything made and then assemble it. Okay, so I got a few more to work into. I'll meet you guys when I get back to my stitch marker. Okay, I've got one more to work into, and that is the end. That is the finish of our head and the finish of that round. So I removed my stitch marker, and we are going to slip stitch into that very first single. Chain 1, pull up a loop long enough to weave in our ends, and snip. Okay, so now I'm not going to weave in my end yet because I want to show you guys this. I'm going to give this just a little bit of a tug around. And then when we assemble this, the ring is what this is going to get glued to. Should be a nice fit, not too tight, not too loose. What I'm doing right here is I'm holding it, like I'm inserting my ring a little, and then I'm pushing, so the part of the head that's underneath this is going to stay. And then I'm just going to pull this on. Okay, there we go. So that's a nice fit, not too tight, not too loose. And I know the head looks a little wonky right now, but we're going to stuff it into a nice shape. Okay, so there is our head. So we can go ahead and weave in our ends. And then after this, we will make our ears. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail weaving in these ends because this part is going to be glued to the ring of our jar. Alright. Snip. Okay, there. So now we have our body and our head done. And those are the two parts that probably take the longest. So you guys get your ends weaved in. Come back here and we're going to move on to our ears. Okay, so now we're ready for our ears. And now we are going to start using the 4mm crochet hook. Oops, let me drop that. Our 4mm crochet hook. So to get started, we are going to get a slip knot on our, oh, I forgot. Okay, so we are going to start with a slip knot, but we need a long tail. So hold your working yarn with your finger and thumb and pull it until you get, I'd say, 1.5 foot long tail. And then this is where we're going to start our slip knot. Reason being is because we need this to attach the ear to our head. Alright, so now get your slip knot on your hook and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so now we're going to stop and we're going to take our stitch marker and we're going to mark that third chain. You'll see why in just a minute. So mark that third chain right there. Okay, so now back into that first chain, we're going to work 7 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, come in with 1, 2, 3. Now the point is I don't want to go over my knot. So my little knot right there. So I'm going to scoot these stitches over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scooch, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's our beginning chain. Okay, so now we can pull our tail and it'll close up that hole. Alright, now we're going to go to round 2, and that is chain 1, and we turn, And into this very first double crochet, we're going to work an increase. So that's 2 singles. The next double crochet gets 1 double. The next double crochet gets 1 single. The next double crochet gets 2 singles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the next double gets 1 single. Increase into the next. 1 single into the next. Increase into the next. And now that chain that we have marked with our stitch marker, we're going to work 1 single crochet into there. Okay, now we're going to chain 1 and pull up a long loop because we're going to need this to attach to our head. Cut, pull that out. All right. Now I like it where the front of the double crochets are our ear. Well, no, I want the single crochets to be the front of the ear. Okay. So if you notice, we have a tail coming from and the way I'm holding mine, it's coming from the left and then one in the middle. Well, when we attach this to our head, we are going to attach like this. So this tail is going to hold this end of the ear down, but we need this tail to hold this end of the ear down. So what we're going to do is take our needle and load this up. And I'm going to weave this in and out a couple of stitches until I can get this tail to come out on this end. And I want it as far over as I can. So I'm going to probably come out about right there. But I'm just going to go in here, pull through. And I want to go, I'm going to go right through this single right there. There. So then whenever I use that to attach to the head, it's going to hold down right like that. Good deal. Good. I like it. Okay, there is your ear. So make your other one. And then come back here and we will move on to the little muzzle. This little piece for our nose. Okay, get your other ear made and get back here. Okay guys, we have our ears done and end weave to the side. Now we are starting our muzzle. So again, with our 4mm, get a slip knot on our hook, and again a little bit longer of a tail for when we attach it to our head. Alright, now we are going to start with a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we are going to slip stitch back to that first chain to form a tiny little ring. Get my fingertip in there so I know where I'm at. There we go. Now we chain 1 and we are going to work 10 single crochet back into that ring right over our tail. Now I want to show you guys something. Holding this right now, can you see that little hole right there? Right here? That is not the hole, that is not the ring created by slip stitching to that first chain. It is actually right here. See it? So now we see 2. Now if I pull my tail, my long tail, see how it closed that ring at the top? And now here, stretch it out a little bit with my needle, is the ring created by slip stitching to the first chain. Okay, so when we work our single crochet, we're going to go right into the middle, and now you can see it really good. Make sure you're over your tail. And again, just like always, mark your first. All right, that's 1. We need 9 more. 2. Get out of there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slide that over a little bit, 9, and 10. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to take that tail and I'm going to go ahead and pull that and close up that middle. And now we are on our way to round 2. So for round 2, we're just going to work 1 single crochet all the way around. So I'm going to go right back into that first one with a single, hold, mark that, and now we single crochet into the others. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you can see, it kind of like pulled up a little bit. I am going to take my finger and I'm just going to push that like that. So it looks like a little bowl. Like that. Okay, so last round, we are going to increase all the way around. So we still should have 10 single crochets, but at the end of this last round, we're going to have 20. So right into that first one with an increase. 1 and 2. Mark your first. All right, now I'm just going to increase into each single crochet around. So I did the first, and 4, 5, and 6. Every even number is how I know I've worked 1 increase. 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14, 15, 16. Uh-oh, I think I messed up, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so when I was counting, I didn't count the first 2 I did. So I'm good. Whew. Like, oh no. Alright, so there's 2 in that one. 17, 18, and then the last one is 19 and 20. Oops. And 20. Alright, remove your stitch marker. Slip stitch to that very first single. Chain 1, pull up a loop because pull it up pretty high because we're going to need that to attach to our head, and cut. Alright, so it was pretty much the same concept that we did for the ear. I need my tail, my middle tail, to come straight across from where this other tail is. Because when we sew it to our head, we're going to, attach with this. And then I need this one to come straight across. So what we're going to do is get our needle, load that up with our yarn. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come straight across from this tail. So if I hold the tail that I'm weaving in, my middle tail, this way, I'm just going to weave in through some threads. I'm not going to be able to go through every single thread of each stitch. I did pretty good though. Alright, now I just went right straight through that single crochet. But there we go. There is our muzzle. Now when we sew this on, we want rounds 1 and 2 to stick out a little bit more. So we might just, you know, give it a little tug around the edges. And there we go. There is our muzzle. Okay, set that to the side. Get your guys' middle tail weaved like that. And come back here and we got arms and legs left. We're almost done, guys. Okay, guys, so we have our head done. We have our ears and our muzzle done. We are going to start on our arms. I couldn't get my words out. Okay, so again with our 4mm hook, we're going to start with a slip knot on our hook. We don't need a long tail for this. Okay, so we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch back to that first chain. And we're going to chain 1. Now working over our tail, for round 1, we're going to work 10 single crochet into that tail. So go over your tail with 1, and as normal, we mark our first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scooch that. 9, and one more in there with 10. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my, pull up a loop, get that off there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this, my center tail, I'm going to pull that tight so it closes up the end. It's not going to be 100% closed, but I'm going to go ahead and weave in this end to get it done and out of the way. Find the needle. There. So that was round 1. Oh, wrong end. So that was round 1. So for round 2, we're just going to increase and then 2 single crochet and get our stitch count from 10 to 12. And then we have round 3 through 12, we're just going to do 1 single crochet around. So the arms are actually, they're pretty quick. I mean, it's only 12 double, or 12 single crochet around. So round 3 through 12, you can get through that pretty quick. All right, so that was round 1. Now we're going to go on to round 2, and we're going to start with an increase into our very first single crochet. And again, increase is just 2 singles in 1. I'll mark my first one. And now I'm going to increase into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought I wrote that down, but I guess I didn't. We're going to single crochet into the next 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we have 1 stitch left, and we're going to increase into that one. So now we should have 12 single crochets. Now I hope I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just lost count. Let me get my thumb in there to get my stitches to roll up so I can see. There, see how it did that little bowl? Now I can see my stitches better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, good. I got that one done. Okay, now we're going to work round 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 3 through 12 with just one single crochet into each single. So here's 1, and then we just single crochet around. So this is round 3, and we need to go all the way to round 12. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 3 through 12 done, and I will meet you at the end of round 12. We still should have 12 single crochet. Okay? So I will see you at the end of round 12. Okay, so I just worked the last single crochet of round 12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So after you work your very last single crochet, remove your stitch marker, and we're going to slip stitch to that first single, chain 1, and now pull up a loop with a little bit of tail, because we're going to use that to attach to our bear. Alright, so there's arm 1. So go ahead and get your second arm made, and then come back here, and we are going to move on to our legs. So for our legs, we are going to start again, just like we have the whole pattern, with a slip knot on our hook. And again, we don't need that super long tail like before. Alright, we're going to start with a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch into that first chain. Form a little loop. Alright, now we are going to chain 1. Chain 1, and we're going to work 10 single crochet into that ring again, just like on the arm. Make sure you work over the tail and mark your first single crochet. So 10 single crochets. So here's 1. Oop, I split that. 1. Mark that, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to scooch these. 9. Scooch them again. And I can get 10 in there. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that loop up. I'm going to pull my tail tight. I'm going to go ahead and weave in the tail. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the rest of the pattern. Got to get my pattern page turned. Alright. So, in our arm, we worked the round 1 just like we did on this one. Round 2, we increased into the first, single crocheted 8, and then increased to the last. Well, on the leg, we're going to work our beginning like we just did. Then round 2, we're going to increase a few times. Round 3, we're going to increase into the very first single crochet into 12 and then increase into the last. And then we have 4 through 13 of just single crochets. So to start round 2 into that very first single crochet, we're going to work an increase. So 1 and 2. Mark your first. I don't know why. Every time I work an increase at the beginning, I never work the first stitch, mark it, then work the second of the increase. I always just work the increase and then come back and mark the very first single crochet. I don't know why I do that. I just do. Okay, so that was our increase. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 2. So 1 and 2. And then increase into the next. Single crochet into the next 2. 1, 2, increase into the next. Oops, I lost that. Single crochet into the next 2. 1 and 2, and then we're going to increase into that very last single crochet right there. 1 and 2, and there's our increase. So now we should have 14 single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and put my finger in here and get this to turn into a little bowl so I can see the top of the stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Good deal. We got it. All right. So moving on to round 3, we are going to increase into that very first single crochet. 1 and 2. See, I just did it again. Okay, now we're going to single crochet into the next 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that should leave us with 1 single crochet left, okay? So I'll just do it on camera with you guys. We're about done. Single crochet into the next 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then we have 1 single crochet left, and we're going to increase into that last single crochet. All right, that is the end of round 3. Okay, that's the end of round 3. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was at the door. So now we should have 16 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Yay, we did that right. Okay, so we are now going to do rounds 4 through 13 of just single crochets across. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 10 rounds. So then I would just do a tally mark for each round. All right, so you guys get 4 through 13 done and come back here and we'll finish off this leg. Okay guys, I have 2 more stitches in the last row. Single crochet into those, and we are going to do just like we did our arm. Remove the stitch marker, slip stitch right into that very first single crochet. I just about singled. Chain 1 and then pull up a longer loop for our attaching to the body. These scissors do not cut very well. Okay, pull that tight, and there is your leg. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so you guys get your second leg done, and then get your polyfill or fiberfill, whatever you want to call it, your sheet of black felt, your safety eyes, your hot glue gun, and your jar. Actually, we're just going to do the head first. We'll assemble the head first. So get your jar and your insert, oh my gosh, my words today. Your ring, your insert, and your head pieces, meaning your head, your muzzle, and your ears, and your safety eyes, and your polyfill, and your sheet of felt. Because we're going to get started on assembling. Alright guys. Okay guys, so this is the end of part 1. In part 2, we're going to do the assembling. So if you look down in the description box, you're going to see the link for part 2, okay? So hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.